Hello everyone. So this is the continuation of inter-process communication from module 1. So here we'll see how inter-process communication is done based on shared memory, message passing and so on. So shared memory, we all know there are, like, if at all there are more than one process using same data, so memory of that data can be shared. So area of a memory shared among the process that wish to be communicated, that communicate, like if a data, like we'll consider a process A and process B is using same variables, like variable add, variable subtract. So what we do, instead of sharing the message, like sending the message, this is the value of A, this is the value of B, what we'll do, process A will be accessing to the variable sum, and process B also will be accessing the same variable sum. Since one place a data is saved and two process is allowed to access that memory. So this is how shared memory is working. So inter-process communication through shared memory. Next one is, the major issues for providing shared memory is there is a, like, synchronization is affected, and the value of process 1 and process 2 will, like, if the process 1 changes the data of sum, and process 2 may read the wrong data, so it has to be synchronized, means the action to be synchronized and properly maintained to get proper information in shared memory. Next one is inter-process communication through message passing. So here whatever the data is shared, instead of keeping in one place sharing, it is used by passing the messages. So there is two methods, like there is two communication modes, send and receive. Send the message and receive the message. Send message is used for sending the data to the receiver, and receive message is used to receive the data from the sender. So based on this method, process will be communicating to each other, means other process will be communicating with each other. Message size can be fixed or variable based on the buffer, like fixed like bounded buffer or unbounded buffer. Message size is based on the buffer, it is fixed or varying size. Next one is same, like message passing with direct communication. In the direct communication, we will use two bits, like send message to the process, to which process you are sending, and message receive a message from which process, like receiver will get the process ID of sender and the message, sender will send the process ID of consumer, like receiver and the message. So we will send, like if we are sending a message, we have to we have to type the message, then we have to give the receiver, like the next person's phone number. The same way, in the send message, we will give the process ID of the, like send a message to which process, means the receiver process ID, and the message receiver will get from whom, from which process you got the message and the message. So properties of communication link is like, links are established automatically. Link is associated with exactly one pair of communicating process, and between each pair of there exists exactly one link, like only two process, like two communicating process or two or three process which is sending and receiving the data. A private link is established, and it is bidirectional link for communicating in between processors. Next one is indirect communication. In indirect communication, instead of giving sender address and sending the data, means receiver address and sending the data, a unique mailbox ID is created, like one mailbox is created where sender will keep the data in that mailbox and receiver will get the data from that mailbox. Properties of this communication link is like, link established only if the process shares a common mailbox. If there are group of process which is sharing a common mailbox, like instead of one sender, one receiver, more than one sender and more than one receiver can have a common mailbox, link to those process will be established from common mailbox to the process. Instead of one to one, all the process will be attached, or all the process will be connected to one common mailbox, and they can get the data associatively for those. Each each pair of process may share several communication links. Links may be unidirectional or bidirectional. In indirect communication, the operation is like there will be a port or a new mailbox created, send and receive messages through those mailbox, destroy a mailbox when the communication means process is executed. So how you send a message is like send a message means send a message to the mailbox A. So sender will send a message to the mailbox called A, and receiver will receive the message from the mailbox A. So what if a mailbox is shared by many processes, like P1, P2, P3 are sharing a same mailbox? Then if at all P1 is a sender, P2, P3 is a receiver, then how to receive the message? Solution is, if at all one process, like allow a link to associated with at most two processes can access a same link, then allow a process at a time to execute receive operation. Once a process P2 is receiving a mail, means receiving a data, P3 has to wait. Once P2 finishes execution of receiving a data, P3 will execute. Allow the system to select receiver based on the priorities. Next one is synchronization. So synchronization for sharing, like message passing, is based on synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous method we call it as blocking method. Asynchronous method we call it as unblocking. Blocking the sender. If one sender is sending a data, receiver is blocked until the sender sends the data. Blocking the receiver. The receiver is blocking the sender. If the receiver is receiving the data, sender will be blocked. Blocking the receiver in the sense, if the receiver is receiving the data, sender will be blocked. If sender is sending the data, receiver will be blocked. Next one is non-blocking send. If the receiver is receiving the data, sender is not blocked, it can continuously send the data. Non-blocking receiver means if the sender is receiving the sending the data, or if there are more than two receivers, like more than one receiver receiving the data, receivers are not blocked. Parallelly, many receivers can receive the data. Based on the combination of blocking and non-blocking, send and receive, there are many combinations of synchronization. So one example of synchronization is our previous producer-consumer problem, where producer was blocked until consumer was consuming the data, and consumer was blocked if the producer was producing the data. We call it as like blocking method of blocking of producer and blocking of consumer method. Thank you.